integrity, and intimacy for men and the women who love them. So this is for both men and women, specifically to support women in understanding the masculine, their men, and to support men. I want to share this with you because it's coming through really strong, and I wasn't going to talk about it. Honestly, I really was like, do I have to talk about this? And my spirit guides were saying, yes, do it now. And so this is unscripted. It's being downloaded as we speak, and it's coming through for the masculine, for men, to support them in intimacy, connection, and maintaining their integrity. And for a lot of you men, understanding how to dive into your integrity, maintain it throughout your pursuits, all of this pursuits. And also for women to understand how to hold men in your life, or how to hold the energy of the masculine so that you can attract what you actually want to receive. So for those of you who don't know, I'm Robin Lynn, and for 10 years now, I've been teaching online business, branding, marketing, and coach consulting. I had an online business school I ran, a coaching academy I ran. I've been coaching coaches and leading entrepreneurs, specifically in taking their offline messages online, or learning as a coach how to package and market themselves, being true to who they really are in business, and to create authenticity in their marketing so that they can attract who they really want to in business. So for the past 10 years, I've been doing that. For 18 years, I've been studying yoga, meditation, mindfulness practices, as well as a practitioner of it. I've been teaching it as well to people with cancer, to children, as well as high-level billionaire CEOs and professional athletes and entrepreneurs. And I found my teacher, Ajahn, who's a Buddhist monk, and I went and studied with the monks at a monastery. Every month, on and off, I would go and visit Ajahn and study Buddhism, Theravada Buddhism, which is direct lineage from Buddha, Thai culture. And so I've also studied with shamans and different healers from around the world, different modalities. And my great-great-uncle created a temple and brought the Kabbalah, mysticism, Judaism into the United States from Poland years ago. And so I just wanted to share that with you for those of you who don't know me, and those of you who are maybe wondering context in terms of where this is coming from and how this is so potentially clear for me to be able to share with you. So a lot of my clients and a lot of people that I speak to and connect with are both men and women. However, lately I have been working a lot more with the masculine energy, either the energy of the masculine in women or the energy of the masculine in men, learning how to find this level of trust and integrity within the masculine to then go out and do what we want to do with our soul path, with our business, with our messaging, to be able to offer what we really want in our highest level potency and presence, to be able to then attract abundance and, of course, intimacy and connection as well. So for those of you who practice attraction, or you understand how to generate 7 figures in revenue, attracting an audience. I know a lot of you don't. So for those of you who do, though, this is where I'm leading you into knowing how to really become that resonance within yourself and align within yourself to be able to attract that highest level partnership, your own self, for your own potency, to be able to express that for yourself, to be able to truly know yourself and attract from that deepest place. And then, of course, with the abundance and business, to know that you're on that path, your right path for you, with what you're really here to do, and to be able to share that with the world. So let's get to business. So I'm holding this clear water, and I wanted to just share with you the context of what I'm sharing in terms of intimacy, depth, connection, and of course, learning how to maintain integrity with yourself in any kind of situation, business and relationships, you want to come with a clear container. You don't want to come empty, but you want to come clear. And with your container, with what you're bringing to your business or intimacy relationships, you want to be as clear as possible. And for women, this means saying no when what you're receiving from your partner is not in alignment with what you really want, or if you're saying yes, you know what you're saying yes to. And so this cleans up and clears up so much of the negativity and also the messiness and the heartache that is unnecessary. Certain cracking open of the heart, of course, is necessary to open the heart. And what I'm speaking of, though, is understanding where you're coming from in your container and being super clear so that when you present it to said partner or in business relationships, it is in alignment and you know what you're agreeing to, you know what you're saying yes to, you're not convoluted, confused. So I'll just give you a little bit of context. A lot of men in my life, my friends and clients that I am working with currently, they're coming to me with one thing that they want that they're not able to hold on to. Integrity, because of conflicting desires. Now, when we have conflicting desires, meaning we want our cake and we want to eat it too, meaning we want to look at it forever upon ever and we want to eat it and then some. What that means is what we want is in competition with other things that we really truly know are good for us. And so sometimes we have to do some clearing and some work to understand what it is that we truly want to invite in, which is receptivity, which is the feminine. What do we really want to invite in to our container, the masculine? What do we want to be penetrated with, masculine? What are we actually receiving, feminine? And so we want to be aware of all of this, especially in relationships, but it's the very same energy in business. Do you guys relate to this? Hi guys, does this make sense to you? So if you are a man and you are just going with the flow and you haven't quite figured out exactly what you want with your relationships or in intimacy in general, you're just tasting all the flavors, or you're a woman and you're in that position, you're like, I just don't know, I'm not being really clear, I'm not specifying exactly what I want, I just want to explore and experience and be open. So there's a difference between being open and experiencing different types of energies, vibrations, and experiences. There's a difference between that and coming clear with knowing what you want to fill your container and being clear with your relationships with intimate partners, coming to them with something that you already have defined so that they can make a rational, mindful, conscious decision of being able to engage with you or not, because they know what they want and you know what you want. So this is being in your integrity. It may also look like, I don't know what I want, and I'm coming to you with a container that is not clean, clear, and I'm coming to you unsure and unaware of what I really want. And that, my friends, is being completely vulnerable and real and open. Now, that's not an excuse for just abusing partners just because you want to. That's something different that you want to be clear of with your partners and also with your clients. You want to show up and not tell them or share with them or promote that you're going to give them something, the container, that you know they want, but yet it's not full of things that they actually want when they actually buy your product services. I've had a lot of clients that I've had to reestablish their own way of thinking, that you can't just market what you think that people want. You actually have to be able to back that up and provide that kind of value. And so based on the value that you're actually providing, you're able to then build the marketing, the branding, the container around the actual thing that is of value to yourself and to your clients, right? Hi guys. So integrity and intimacy goes hand in hand, but a lot of times we lack the courage because we have an agenda. We want to get something, we want to experience something, or we're just in the moment and we want to be in that flow. And for men, it is very helpful for men to be able to be as clear as possible, and it does take courage. So the foundation that you're coming from is being courageous enough to be clear. So you're aware that when you're engaging, business and intimate partnerships, that you're coming from the foundation of courage, that you have the guts to be able to be real. And regardless of what you want, there is no agenda, because the thing that you truly want and the thing that your heart and soul is truly craving is connection, intimacy, and this deep resonance with partner and with your business relationships. The true thing that we ultimately want to establish is that trust and that integrity and that intimacy. And if we go year after year after year, and decades goes by, and you're like, where's my integrity at? I don't feel so good about myself, and I don't really feel clear, and I'm at this age and I'm not really sure who I am or what I want, and why am I doing this? And now you're in this self-deprecating situation, and you're dismissing your true needs. You're denying yourself of feeling what you actually want to receive. And so now you're not a receiver. You're not a receiver of what you actually want, and the things that are actually true for you. The things that you actually want to embrace, receive, and be with are not the things that you're allowing, because your container is just full of a mismatch, full of contradiction, and as Abraham Hicks says, conflicting energy, which is scattered energy. And if you're coming fragmented or scattered with what you're bringing me, with your energy, now I don't really know how to engage, right? Like it gets more confusing for me if you're coming at me with that. Instead of you being able to come forth with this clear container, even if you're not sure exactly, being able to express yourself, even if it's clunky and messy, that's what is being in your integrity. And that's what creates intimacy, depth, connection, and a real, true establishment of this solid foundation where someone's really ultimately going to trust you. Again, trust in business, every aspect of your life, especially in intimate relationships. So, let's say, for example, that you want connection and you want to explore, as a man, you want to explore women, but you don't have the courage to come forth and say, I really enjoy you, I want to spend time getting to know you, I really want to be in flow with you and experience you at your fullest, me at my fullest, but I'm coming to you with a container that's not quite clear of what I really want. I don't know if I want children. I don't know if I want to get married. I don't know if I want a relationship. I don't even know what a relationship, a healthy one, looks like for me. And so as a man, it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be challenging. It doesn't have to feel bad. You don't have to feel bad about it, because if you come forth with that, then your partner, woman, or whomever you're coming at this with in intimate relationships, she is going to trust you. And you're going to build respect. She's going to respect you. And now you respect yourself. You're going to trust your own decisions more. The foundation you're building this intimacy from is going to feel solid, even if you're starting not sure. And the container that you're pouring your heart in, and the experiences that you're filling your container with, which is shared in the world, unless you live in a cave and you don't communicate with anyone ever, right? Even my monk friends, even my monks, the monks that I hang out with, they force themselves. The Buddha forced himself to engage in community, and that's why he taught. The engagement of being out in the world, it's very uncomfortable, but it reinforces you to be able to work through the uncertainties in yourself. And that's really what being in communion is all about. Being in partnership, experiencing one another. But if we're just going through life, whether you're a parent or not, if you're being unclear, your children are definitely going to exhibit those patterns and not really respect women, even though you're teaching them certain things. If you're not fully being that, being clear and really honoring the connection that you want to form, again, business relationships or intimate partnerships, you need to be aware of this container, and you want to be able to come forth with a clear container. You want to come into a clean container. So you need to empty it when you're inviting yourself into new relationships or experiences. You want to be able to empty all of the stuff, or at least be able to come clean with a new person in your life and be able to be clean and clear with them and share with them, hey, I'm still working through these things. When you start a relationship that way, there is so much intimacy, there's so much trust and depth. If you hide those things in intimacy, it's going to be felt, and then there's not going to be trust, and the foundation that you're building from, it's going to feel really, really messy and yucky for your partner. And so for women, you want to be aware of if something doesn't feel right, and you want to be aware of the container that the masculine is bringing to you. And you want to be aware of your own container, and are you able to articulate whether he can or not? Are you able to come forth and say, you know what? You haven't said this to me, but I want to come forth and be really open and honest with you. These are my, if you want to say, boundaries. I use virtues in Buddhism. We go by virtues. The things that I stand by, the things I stand for. These are my virtues. This is what I value. If you can be with that, then great. Then I want to keep going here. If not, then this isn't going to work for me. And so now we're being clear with our own needs, but we're addressing them right away. And it's not like I need you to meet my needs in order for me to be okay. It's just I'm aware of what I need for this relationship or partnership to feel like it's going to work for me. And so we can't necessarily wait for the partner to do that, but the role of the masculine is to come forth with his truth. And so the woman is ultimately, craving that from the masculine. The feminine is craving to feel that she can trust and respect deeply. It's super juicy, it's super delicious when a woman is able to feel that the masculine is super strong enough and super clear enough, like, hey, you may say no to this, but this is where I'm at. This is what I've got. This is my container. This is where I'm bringing my stuff to you. This is how I'm going to show up. This is where I'm at. This is what I'm working through. This is what I've got to give to you, to share with you. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I do know. This is exactly where I'm at. Now, if the woman is able to receive that with a masculine partner, it's just like, now she feels safe. because the container is presented. Now, if the masculine partner does not present any kind of foundation or clarity, or there's a lot of confusion, or he acts one way but she's feeling something else and she's maybe scared because there isn't a foundation for safety for her to come forth, that can be very intimidating sometimes for the feminine, until she's got her own sense of self and courage to be able to say, look, I really want to spend time with you. I really want to get to know you. I really like where this is going and how this feels. And here's where I'm at. And I'd really like to know where you're at. It doesn't mean that we're committing to anything. I just want to know, do you want a relationship? Do you want to be in partnership? Do you feel like you're capable of sustaining a relationship? Have you ever been in a healthy relationship where you've been able to share love in a deep way, where you felt deep trust, intimacy, and connection? Or have you not experienced that? And to be able to be light and loving and open in a very beautiful, tender way, to bring that tender heart forth, to be able to share in that tenderness, that is where your intimacy is going to grow. And that's where your integrity is going to just be so, so delicious. And you're going to feel it as a man. You're going to feel that integrity with yourself. And your feminine partner, whether you're with one or wanting to attract one, they are going to feel that because you're vibrating that energetically through the currents of frequency throughout the cosmic field, energetic field. Women will feel that. And so then when you start to express yourself, expose yourself, and engage with women as a man, that's naturally going to be what they feel. And so they will trust you and they will feel safe to open up. And ultimately, that's what we all want, right? To be in our integrity, to create connection, intimacy, and depth, and to be aware of who we are and how we're engaging in the world, and to build this connection with one another in a deep way. Do you know someone who ultimately, in their heart of hearts, in their soul, really wants superficial relationships, like truly, ultimately, when we come down, and I just hit the age of 40 years old, and for me everything shifted. Everything in my 30s was like, I had no idea what I was doing, and so I look at a lot of people in their 30s and it's like, okay, yeah, keep exploring. But if in my 30s I was aware of these practices that I'm sharing with you, of being really clean and clear with the container that I'm bringing forth, and also being confident enough and bold and courageous enough to say, I know you want to spend time with me, I know you want to get to know me more, and I know you want intimacy with me, but I'm not really clear of what your container's all about and what you want and where you're actually at and where you've come from, so that I can feel, that trust and that safe. Where are you? What does integrity mean to you? What does that integrity mean to you? And how does that show up in your life? And how do you really want to express that? How can, me as a feminine partner for you potentially, like what do you want for your partnership? Do you even want a partnership? So being able to understand where we're coming from and what we want, and being clean and clear in that space within our own container of self-preservation, and being able to courageously present that with partners and in business, to be clean and clear with how you're engaging with clients, not over promising, yeah, sure, I can help you with that. And then it's like, I don't have that experience. It's like, there's a lot of people out there in the coaching world, people who, fake it till they make it. And I don't guide people in that way. We come from the place of where we are, and we're vulnerable and we're real and we're honest. And we say, I can help you with this, absolutely, but that piece, I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe I'll have to refer you to someone else if I can't. Being really open and honest. And now your client's like, oh, wow, that feels good. Now you're in your integrity and they can trust you and they feel safe with you. And now there's this intimacy in your business relationships. So it does go hand in hand. It's the same hand in hand with business and with your romantic partners in intimacy. We want to create this connection, this trust, and we want to be clear with how we're presenting ourselves in the world, no matter what that looks like. When I find myself really with every situation, like at the market when I go and buy some food and some of my produce and stuff, and I do what I can to really be in that vulnerable open space and have this container of intimacy and trust and safety and to create this feeling of connection with everyone whom comes into contact with me. And I do what I can to open heart and to share that space in a loving way. But again, intimacy, there's a variance of different energies of what you're going to expose yourself to with a romantic intimate partner versus with the person checking you out at the grocery store. But the energy of opening thy heart and holding space and being clear with that experience is what you want. And that's being in your integrity. It's like it's like when you're having maybe a bad day, you're in a bad mood, you're just having a bad vibe day, and you go to the grocery store and you're just like, you're in a really grouchy mood, bratty mood. Maybe you're being very negative with yourself, a lot of shame or blame or whatever it is that's happening. You may have maybe a bad moment. And let's say that the person at the store is trying to be kind and sweet and cheery, and you're not holding that space, and then you leave and you're like, that person was so sweet and I was so cruel. And let's say you walk back in and you go back to the clerk at the grocery store who was checking you out, and you were saying maybe, hey, I didn't treat you so kind there, and I just want to apologize because I wasn't quite treating myself very kindly and I was having a bad moment, but I wanted to share with you that I appreciate you for your kindness and your goodness and for being in a great mood. And if you can do that, your life will change, your world will change. You will be able to see the beauty, as Mooji says, see the beauty in everything, and then be able to allow and accept and receive that goodness to you, because you're seeing and appreciating that goodness around you and now within you. And you're being in your integrity, you're honoring that place, and now you can trust yourself with yourself. And that's really what it's about, right? Being able to trust yourself with yourself in all situations, so that you can snap out of any funk that you're in, being in a heady space like a lot of times we can get in, any kind of grasping or reaching or clinging outside of us, and anything that's coming outside of us that we're reaching or grasping for, we want to be able to let go. We want to be able to bring in and receive and allow from a different energy, from the heart space. And it's not a grasping, it's not a reaching, it's a calling in. It's a different kind of sharing. Me grasping for something isn't really an exchange of sharing and receptivity. But when I open my heart and I'm clean and I'm clear and I'm pure and I'm true and I'm in my integrity with my word, and I trust myself and I acknowledge the courage that I can bring forth in situations that may be challenging, now I'm creating real relationships. I'm being real with myself, honest, so I'm in my own integrity, I'm clear. And now, when I come forth in the world, when I present myself, when I engage and connect and open myself, I'm opening from here, from my truth, not from here, from pain or trauma, and I will be talking more about the trauma side in a positive light. I watched the film The Wisdom of Trauma, and it was very moving, and I want to talk more about that in a different video. But I just wanted to share with you this message of integrity, intimacy, specifically for the masculine, whether that's with your own self or with partnership or business, whether you're a man or a woman, but to be able to acknowledge what you're holding, where you're coming from, and present a clean, clear container when you do, so that you can come into a clean space, and your foundation now is something that people can trust, you can trust, and others can trust that, respect that, and feel safe to be able to open up with you. That's how we create intimacy, connection, and depth, and really a beautiful experience. So let me know your thoughts on this. I so look forward to hearing from you. It's been a pleasure connecting with you today. Have a beautiful rest of your afternoon. Talk to you soon.